If you have any questions or concerns about this week's episode, please call or text producer Dan at 778-288-9255.
Start the party, Dan! Time to turn it up, we're getting crazy, going wild, talking nasty stuff. Dudes scrolling hell sites, but it doesn't fire. Boom, roast, mad posts, sticking up the replies. We don't want to go to school, we don't want to get a job. We just want to get online and get our asses blocked. We don't follow the rules, we do whatever we want. It's Block Party, the podcast, like we're tweeting a duck. Block Party, Block Party, Block Party, my mentions are fucked. Block Party, Block Party, Block Party, I quote tweeting a duck.
Hello, friends, idiots, and friends who are also idiots. Welcome to your favorite podcast about social media and rejection. It is Block Party. This is episode number 256. I'm John.
I'm Stefan.
And with us is a fantastic guest, a very funny comedian, as well as the host of the Indecent with Kiki Andersen podcast. It's Kiki Andersen.
Hi, Kiki.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And look, I think we do need to address the elephant in the room right off the top of the show. This episode is going to be weird for Stefan because his cat is also named Kiki.
Yeah. So when I say Kiki, I'm like yelling at my cat to get off the counter, or so if the tone sounds like I'm yelling at you to get off the counter, it's because of the cat. It's nothing you have done, unless you're on the counter.
Frequently on counters. I sit on counters a lot, so I understand.
Kiki, right. Get off of that counter. Were you talking to me? Was that me? Actually, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have warned you and just like let it happen organically, and you'd have been like, what the I'm not on the counter. What are you guys
I can go get Kiki
about?
Right now because we are doing video episodes now. So I can get Kiki and hold
Nobody
her up
wants
to the
to
camera.
see your cat. Don't worry.
Come
about
on.
it.
No, I do. I think we should have a meeting of the Kiki.
We should, I think. Yeah.
We should have a Kiki.
Yes. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, Stefan does that. Kiki, human Kiki.
almost human.
Almost. No, I mean, I think you're human. I'm excited because I think you'll be a good fit for this podcast because looking at your podcast, it seems like you like to talk some dirty talk, work with. That's what we kind of we're sort of like
I think that's just you, John.
Okay. They're really trying to paint me on this show, Kiki, as a sex guy, which maybe I am and maybe I'm not, but I don't want that to be my sole reputation. There's Kiki the cat. Hi, Kiki the cat.
Kiki's definitely a sex cat. That cat definitely the sex cat.
I don't know. Stefan's not really like a sex guy. So I don't know if Kiki can be a sex cat by, I don't know. What do you think, Stefan? You think Kiki's a sex cat?
No, she's pretty chill. She just kind of like lays around all day, I guess. But she's a counter cat. I mean, I referenced that earlier.
Have you ever?
She looks like she's ready to go in like Superman mode.
I don't know. She was kind of sleeping, I think. So she's a little out of it right now.
Is she Is she okay?
She might be. Kiki, are you okay?
She heard her calling her a sex cat, and she didn't. Yeah. She was like, "Uh-oh."
Well, I'll hold her up right to the camera so
hello,
she can
Kiki.
say hello.
Oh, that's the cuter Kiki for sure.
Are you a cat person, Kiki?
No, I'm a cat and dog person. I had both growing up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sort of
John is neither.
I'm sort of famously neither. Yeah. It's fun. I mean, Kiki is cool, I would say. I like Kiki. Whenever I've been at Stefan's house, it's been kind of cool. Yeah.
As far as cats go, I mean, because I feel like growing up, a lot of our cats were like, because we had cats growing up too, they didn't like new people, so they would just kind of like run away and hide. But Kiki the cat will just like run right up to people when they come over and when she meets them. So that's nice. I think I'm a dog person also. And if we got a second animal, it would be a dog just because Kiki hates other cats. But yeah, John famously just not a pet guy at all. And I've tried my best to change that. And Dan has tried his best to change that. Actually, Dan, you haven't really.
No, Dan doesn't.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Dan's just kind of laying around.
Let John do his thing. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
I was
Thank you,
like
Dan.
a reptile guy. Like, like guys who have like pet snakes. Like, ooh, red flag.
There's a guy in Vancouver who, and he's kind of become like quasi famous. Like people have written news stories about him. But he has a giant monitor lizard, and he like walks around parks with it.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that guy.
I will say this. I've only seen him in the wild one time, and sort of a surprising chick magnet, even though he is not, like, he himself no, there's he looks like the type of guy that would own a monitor lizard.
Right.
Okay, I'll let you just do that picture in your own head.
Sure.
But it
Does
was.
he have a? I'm picturing ponytail, sort of like school shooter jacket.
Well, it was in the summer, so no jacket, but he did
Okay.
have a ponytail underneath a hat with cargo shorts on and boots in the middle of the summer.
Okay.
But like surprising number of women kind of hanging around the monitor lizard. I would have thought the monitor lizard would be a repellent.
It is weirdly cute, but like, what does the monitor lizard eat? Because like, if you have to watch him like feed a bunch of live mice to this thing, like that's not exactly date setting.
Oh,
I just looked them up. You're right. They do sort of have. They have big eyes, kind of. They do have kind of a cute face.
He's like kind of
Surprising.
smiling.
Yeah, a little bit. Because I had to look it up because that's kind of the one, not the one lizard. I don't know like a lot about lizards, but I can't really picture a monitor lizard. They kind of look like a Komodo dragon, a little bit like a smaller Komodo dragon.
It's like somewhere. It's like bigger than an iguana, smaller than a Komodo dragon.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Yeah, but I can see like the first result when you search monitor lizard on Google. It is pretty cute. So I can sort of see that. And it's on like a leash, I guess, John?
Yeah, he had like a leash. It didn't go around the lizard's neck, if I recall. It was kind of like a harness, like a backpack type leash situation.
Yeah, I don't think you could really put it around its neck because of the shape of its head. It would just kind of like fall off. So.
Yeah, the lizard seemed cooler than I thought it would be too. Like I felt like the lizard would be like, what is going on right now?
Right.
And the lizard seemed kind of chill.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I think there is the type of guy who has lizards, who has like, you go into his like garage or something and he's got like the red light and then a bunch of like geckos or whatever. That is definitely a type of guy that's, sort of different from a typical dog or cat guy. But John, yeah, I mean, if you were going to get a pet, I could see you maybe having like a fish.
I had fish. That was like the only pet I had growing up was fish. But then it was funny because I got the fish and my parents bought me a fish tank for Christmas. I don't even think I asked for it. I think, I had like temper issues when I was a child. We've discussed it on the show before. So I think my parents, and I also didn't sleep well when I was a kid. I had like insomnia.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the fish tank was a sort of like my parents trying to calm me down, I guess, by like putting a fish because people think fish tanks are sort of soothing, right? They've got the kind of like bubbling
it's like a screensaver. Yeah.
It's like a real life screensaver.
We need something for our weird kid to look at, basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then my dad ended up liking it so much more than me.
I can see that.
And
I could see your dad as a fish guy.
Oh, big time fish guy. Fishing and fish. Like it's kind of a little bit of an oxymoron. It's like he had fish at home, but then he would go catch and kill and eat fish.
Yeah.
So he ended up becoming really obsessed with it and was kind of like running it, even though it was in my bedroom. And then when we moved to BC, the fish tank just went in the living room because it was just like
Yeah. Do they still have fish?
No, they do not have fish. It's been a long time actually since my dad's had fish. I don't know why he got rid of it. I guess he just got tired of cleaning the tank or whatever, but
yeah, that seems sort of like the worst part of it. Kiki, do you have any pets right now?
No, I'm not allowed to have pets in my living situation, but I'm like dog auntie, cat auntie to many animals.
Right.
Yeah, I think John is not even like a dog or cat uncle. Like
I don't want to be.
No, and I've tried really hard. And I think like Becca has Becca given up on making you into a pet guy?
Yes.
That's really...
I have successfully conquered because
God damn
thought was always like, oh, once
I thought she would win. Yeah.
Once we get a house, we'll get a cat.
Yeah.
Nope. But part of it is also that I'm allergic. So there is also that. Like I would have to be taking allergy pills every day. And then I would.
Are you allergic to dogs though?
I would also probably just leave the animal outside.
Right.
A bunch. And no, I'm allergic to dogs too. Yes.
Okay. That's fair. If you didn't have an allergy, it would just be like you just have a cold heart, but like it's a health issue.
To be clear, he has a cold heart also.
Yeah. I'm trying not. I'm just trying to be honest on this show. I'm not trying to steer away from the fact that I don't want a pet. Like, I think that is important to recognize that even though I am allergic, it is also, but I wouldn't say I have a cold heart. You think I have a cold heart just because I don't like animals? I feel like I just have a cold heart. I don't have a cold heart for like people and stuff. I feel like I'm a pretty warm guy.
I think you're, well, can you say warm again, by the way, for Kiki? I don't know if you,
dirty.
It's a very Canadian pronunciation.
Warm.
Yeah, I love that.
I just like, the problem is I don't hear it.
No,
like,
I know.
I genuinely don't hear it.
It's
like, when
definitely there though, to be clear.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It just is like a weird
warm.
Okay, fuck you. I'm glad everybody's
We just do this for a half hour. Weird.
We could, yeah.
Okay, hold on. This friggin' people are trying to deliver my kitchen table, and they keep.
You say warm like you're starting up a chainsaw. You know?
Hello.
Oh, he's taking a call during the pod. Oh my god.
This gonna stay in?
I think so.
Hey.
I think it'll stay in. Oh, maybe not. Wow, he's taking a. Kiki, okay, he's talking into the mic still for some reason. Kiki, I got a new phone today, and so I've been going through the song and dance.
Let me take a quick look here.
Yeah, what the fuck is it?
This is classic John.
Very
This is cold-hearted
unprofessional.
John
Is
here.
it like it has to be
John,
between
you get
five and from about 2:30?
Hold on. I'm just gonna mute his ass.
Yeah, you can mute him.
Not
Right?
actually.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, is he giving his address away there too? I think.
Ooh,
Anyway.
doxing himself.
Yeah, I mean, has he ever? Anyway, I think he
So you got a
basically
new
doxed
phone.
him.
What kind of phone did you get?
I got the iPhone 15, and I haven't gotten a new phone in since the 12. So I guess that's 3 years, I suppose.
But
I'm going through.
15 warms up and like burns your hand.
It does warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't had that happen. Okay, he heard that. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm going through the song and dance right now of like trying to get all of my stuff over there. And it's like pretty straightforward for the most part. I think they make it fairly easy. Like you just hold up your old iPhone like next to the new one, and it like transfers everything over there wirelessly, which is great. But I'm dealing with a thing now where it's like I'm trying to log into like my bank app on my phone, and it's like, oh, you need to, because you set up a new Face ID on this phone, you need to log in with your old digital security device password.
Oh no.
Yeah, the thing I set up like 10 years ago. And I'm gonna have, so I think what I'm maybe supposed to do is like reinstall that app entirely and just start from scratch. But I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, have you gotten a new phone recently?
Yeah, I got a new phone last year, and I'll tell you, because I've had my iCloud for years, and I'm starting to get anxiety about the amount of shit that's on it. Because it's like I probably have like 20,000 photos, and I almost wish I would just lose them so I could start fresh, because I don't even know what's on my phone anymore.
I have so many old screen grabs of like jokes that I found funny on Twitter or whatever for like 4 or 5 years. And it's just kind of like, oh, Dan, I think you can unmute John now.
Oh, is he off the phone? Okay.
I think he's off the phone now.
Sorry, that was so fucking fucked. I obviously would never answer a phone call during the podcast, but we're getting a struck tube delivery. Do you have struck tube in America, Kiki?
What is struck tube? That sounds like somebody that was smited by the gods.
It's like higher end IKEA, I would say.
Yeah, it's like a furniture store. It's one of those furniture stores.
It's French Canadian.
You can go in but you can't buy anything. Like you have to then go order it online.
Oh no, the future.
You go into like the showroom and you're like, oh, this couch is great. Can I buy it now? And they're like, no, it'll be at your place in 6 weeks.
6 months. They'll be like, you can have this couch in 6 months. Oh, can I have this one you have right here? No.
Oh, and it will take a long time too. Like I remember we ordered something back in like 2020 and it took 2019 to be clear, is before COVID, because I guess that's a good excuse. But it took like 8 months to get there. It was crazy.
It's so stupid. And so anyway, they don't have their own in-home delivery service. You're getting a kitchen table delivered.
Yeah.
They called me, left a voicemail, because they called once we started the pod. They left a voicemail. Then they texted me and said, call me back immediately. Then they called me again, left another voicemail. Then they called me again within the span of 10 minutes. And I was like...
So it was like an emergency.
Yeah, it was an emergency. Hey, we got to deliver your table in 2 days. Fuck off.
Oh, it's not even today?
No, we're not getting, the table's not even getting delivered. I was like, what? Why
really
did you
test
call
your
me?
limit.
Well, I mean, anyway, so that's why I felt like an idiot that I had to pick up the phone, but I had no choice. I felt like they were just going to keep calling.
They're bullying you. Did you tell them that you were doing a podcast right now?
She sounded like the type of person on the phone who didn't know what a podcast was.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? How you can just kind of tell right away?
Yeah.
Like Kiki, your podcast is fairly new. Have you run into people kind of being like, "Oh, you have a podcast now. What does that mean?"
Yeah, that's my mother. She's like, "How do I listen to this?" Like, you don't need to listen to me talk about queefs and whatever. So
yeah. has she listened? Like, is she going to attempt to listen? Do you think, or?
I think she has probably tried, and I should probably show her how, but it just hasn't happened for us yet. I mean, we're a bi-weekly podcast, so we're actually only 10 episodes in, even though we started in April.
Right.
So I don't know. She's got a little bit of catching up to do, but she's not that far behind. She could catch up.
She could catch up. Okay, yeah, because my mom listens to all of our episodes.
And she's very tech savvy.
She knows how to listen to a podcast. Yeah, I think she's for a 68-year-old, she's pretty tech savvy. I would say, like she's able. Well, it's okay. So she's able to listen to podcasts of her own volition. Which is like pretty impressive, I think. But John, your mom has never listened to a single.
I banned my parents from listening to the pod. I said they were not allowed because I mean, we're not a queef-based podcast, but we are a bit of a cum-based podcast, I would say.
Or poop,
and so, it's just my parents are very like in my mom's mind, I'm still a virgin. Like she knows I'm not. Obviously, I'm married, and I did also have sex before I got married. But in her mind, like we don't have that relationship. Like some people have that relationship with their parents where they talk about sex openly and stuff. And that is just has never been my relationship with my parents. They would not like most of what happens on here. Like, is your mom, is she like cool with you having a queef-based podcast?
Yeah, my mom would probably talk about queefs with me, but my dad, hell no.
Okay.
Well, that kind of makes sense, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, my dad, I think as far as he knows, like I've never kissed a boy.
Right.
My mom is like the first funny person I ever met, and she's also way grosser than I am. So she would be
That's
down.
Ideal. Yeah, that's what you want. Having a gross mom rocks.
Yeah.
My mom worked as a nurse for a while, and so she would just tell. I mean, she would tell like pretty horrifying stories, to be honest. But like, so to get me to wear my helmet or something, it wouldn't just be like, oh, it's like safer to wear your helmet. It's like, oh, well, when I was working in the ICU, a guy came in and his head had basically exploded like a grape. And, or she'd talk about like the worst like burns she had ever seen, or just talking about like inserting and removing catheters and that sort of thing. But she would talk about that at dinner. Like we would be having dinner and she would be, so this podcast is like totally fine for her. And I'm sure she would be fine listening to the queef-based podcast as well. But John's parents.
Into our world. We're taking newcomers.
Yeah, she would love it. But like, yeah, John, your parents, I mean, your dad has been on an episode of the show before.
Correct.
And did your mom listen to that one?
No.
What?
The only episode my parents have ever listened to, actually, maybe my mom did listen to that one. I think she did. I think my dad made her. Okay. But
your dad was very proud of his appearance.
Oh, and still really talks about it a lot. But it's the one thing that's working in my dad's favor, or like everyone else's favor, is that the podcast is a much longer format. Because I think I've told the story before of like when I was in a band, my dad played a song with my band once. I don't
know if you did tell that story, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like back in the day, yeah. So I was in like just a local bar band, whatever. We were okay. And we played some bigger shows for a local band. We'd played to like 100 or 200 people or whatever. So one night I was close to Father's Day. My dad had always had this dream of like, he's not a great guitar player, but he like always had this dream of like, being in a rock band or whatever. So, he would frequently tell this story about when he was a kid one day, or not a kid, like a teenager. One day, him and his friends rented like equipment and they set up in their garage, but like a concert for people. But it didn't sound like it sounded like they played all day and they only knew 3 songs, and calling it a concert was very loose. So I told my dad, let's play one of your favorite songs. This is a song called Let's Shake by the band Teenage Head. And we played the song live, and it was filmed. And then my dad, for the next 10 years, went on to show every single person who entered our house the video of himself playing with the band. To the point where it became shortened, and in our house it was known as the Vid, which in 2023, not as PC to say, but yeah. So he would be like, I got to show them the Vid. So like, Stefan, if you had come over, like if we were friends when we were teenagers, you would have seen this video of my dad. He did the Teenage Head used to do, their lead singer would do the sort of like punk eyeshadow where you do like the eyeshadow all around your eyes, so it looked like, you know. So my dad did that, and he cut holes in his jeans because he didn't have any ripped jeans, and played live with my band. And yeah, it was good. Anyway, the long story short is, it's a good thing the podcast isn't short, because otherwise he would show it to everybody who came in the door, and he wants to come back on the show as well.
Right.
Can you bring the vid? I want to see the vid.
I do want to see the video. Yeah.
I can show you guys the vid.
Yeah.
Wait, why is vid not PC?
Oh, because of COVID. You know, people call it.
Oh. I didn't get that either.
Tape or anything. We just it was just a rock band situation.
Right. Yeah.
That's it was just a stupid joke that I was making that I guess didn't work because nobody got it.
I was like, who's that discriminating again?
You're spending the whole time I'm talking.
Yeah.
Like, who's the Vid? That's crazy. But yeah, so my parents, I think the only episode of this show my parents have listened to is the Tony Hawk episode.
Right. I think that's reasonable.
I think they were just like, I told them, I'm like, it was like mostly clean, and it was mostly kind of us interviewing Tony Hawk. And
I was on my best behavior for the entire episode. So
yeah, we didn't really push Tony Hawk into a corner. Sorry, Kiki?
What'd you talk to Tony Hawk about? What was his top 3?
Oh, his top 3 video games, right?
I think that's what it was. A fairly straightforward one, but I think in that case we're not gonna push back and be like,
well, Tony knew that I was like a very big fan of his video game series, so I think he was like doing a little smart move. He's like, well, if I say favorite video games, this loser over here is in my game. and I did.
And
but
you
didn't really talk to him about cum or anything like that.
No,
I feel like Tony Hawk would have gone. I think he would have gone there with us, you know?
I think I could have pushed it a little bit, but I was like, you know what? This is like John's like hero. And if I fuck this up for him, he's going to murder me. So I was very polite.
Have you got there with your show yet, Kiki, where you're kind of like bringing people onto your show that maybe don't really want to get like deep in the weeds about sex with you?
I have found that most of our guests have listened to the pod, so I think they know what they're getting. No matter what we're talking about, whether it's like monsters or marketing, somehow it always comes back to queefs and cum. So I think people know what they're getting when they sign up for Indecent with Kiki Andersen.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we've never really talked about queefs on this show, I think.
No, surprisingly.
Somehow we made it to episode 256 without ever discussing it.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
What do I want to know? That's a good question.
John.
Well, what?
Take it easy, buddy.
I'm fine. I'm chill. I'll say this.
Yeah.
I feel like I never had a problem with it. Like I remember having like guy friends who are just like, when you're younger, I'm talking about, you know, you're just talking shop with the fellas, you know, and you'd always have some guy friends who'd be like, oh, you know, I was with this girl, this happened, gross or whatever. And I feel like I just never really cared that much.
That's good. It's very PC.
Very healthy. Yeah.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
John's
know.
John's a very
where are
PC
you
guy.
at?
I think they're cool. I think they're funny. In fact,
funny.
I'm jealous that people with vaginas have like another way to fart. I only have the one way to do it, you know? Well, the 2, I guess, well, 3, I guess, right? Because you could do the mouth, you can do the armpit, and then obviously Old Faithful. You can do the classic, the ass. Yeah.
That's why they named the geezer that. Yeah, the guy.
Yeah. But like, so you know, you have like a 4th way to do it, and I think more than anything else, I'm jealous because I can't fart out of my dick. I don't think I can, at least. Maybe I can. I don't know. If I can, I haven't. Yeah, it's maybe it's possible, but
I do think that's where you get guys like Andrew Tate. I think that's why they're so angry is because they can't queef.
that might be it. Actually, yeah, maybe that's what's
hard
missing.
out of their dick. Yeah, like it's like a real hack joke to be like, oh, these guys just need to get laid, or like, if we could get rid of, we could solve world wars if we just jacked everybody off or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
I think it might actually. This is the 2023 version of that. If these guys could just fart out of their dick, we would be so many problems would be solved.
I think you might be
Women
right.
are
yeah.
amazing.
That
Yeah.
is true. Does it? It doesn't feel. This I don't know how to ask the question really, but okay, like because we're on this topic of like.
I'm so sorry, by the way.
No,
Don't worry at all. This is important.
This is fairly tame for our show. I think.
Yeah, this is
so.
important stuff. Don't worry. No, you're good. You're safe here. But like, does it feel relieving in the same way that like a fart can sometimes?
That is a good question.
There's just varying degrees of queef and varying degrees of relief.
Right.
Okay. So sometimes though it happens and you're like, fuck, thank God that got out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially it's like a bonding moment. It happens. And it's like, what kind of person are you going to be? This is the defining moment for a relationship.
Yeah.
How do
that makes
you want
sense.
a guy to act in that situation? Like, let's say it's just been like the biggest one of your life. Like, how do you want a guy to act in this situation?
You can either address it and you can be like, what the fuck was that? Or you can just pretend it didn't happen. And I feel like if you're going to address it, you got to be cool about it, or you got to pretend it didn't happen. But if you're going to be weird about it,
yeah.
Well, like what? Who are you? Like, what? You never had an embarrassing moment in your life, Like, all right.
That makes sense. You either politely ignore it, and we're kind of you're both sort of like, we're going to pretend that didn't happen, or you're like, hey, nice job, that rocked.
Right.
Yeah.
Kudos are always welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, trying to think if I've ever done like a high five after one. Probably not, but like that's sort of where my like mind was like, hell yeah, fuck, nice job.
Yeah, maybe that's a talk I need to have with my boyfriend. Some high fives would be nice here and there.
Yeah,
I think so, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, on this topic of like giving kudos, I think no. Okay, well, we've got Kiki here. We might as well talk about this. I would say that like I've been in a habit like for a lot of my sex having life where I will thank the person afterwards. And some people are genuinely like thrown off by that. I'll just be like, thanks. That was nice.
That's like the most John Cullen thing imaginable. I fucking love it. That's so good. I know what you mean, but like, it is like, that is, if you had asked me like, hey, Stefan, do you think I thank people after we have sex? I would have been like, 100%. No question.
So is that good or bad?
I think it's fine, but I'm just saying like it
not
is very,
every time, but just like sometimes, just like thanks.
Sure,
like, fuck yeah. That was
I think it's very John Cullen coded. I would say.
I don't find it weird. I think it's nice. It depends how you say it, because if you're like thank you, like you haven't had sex in 100 years, that is frightening. But if you're like thanks, that was dope. That's encouraging.
Yeah, the chill or like casual thanks. I think, but yeah, you're right. If it's like fucking. Thank you. I needed that so bad. Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Sorry, I guess I should have been more clear. Usually I am on the floor kissing their feet and saying thank you so much.
Okay, yeah.
And bowing up and down, worshiping.
Yeah, no, it's not quite like that. Okay, so you guys aren't necessarily set on me thanking people, or you're not saying it's bad.
No, I don't think it's bad. I think it's charming, I would say.
Do you have a good like post-sex move, either of you, like something you say or like a cool
I don't know. I'm like in a relationship, so I feel like I don't know. Like I don't have like a thing where I'm trying to woo anybody. Like I've already got him locked in. He's already my boyfriend.
I'm not trying to be cool. I guess for me it's kind of like I go to bed after I go to sleep.
That's Irene's reward is she doesn't have to listen to you talk anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is very cool.
That is kind of sick. Because I thought, Stefan, you were going to maybe say like you kind of put on like sunglasses and a leather jacket and then ride out on your motorcycle.
That could be good, I think. Yeah. I mean, I have the sunglasses. I don't have the jacket or the motorcycle, but
Hey, work your way up.
yeah, one step at a time.
Is there anything that someone has done that's very weird after sex?
Nothing comes to mind necessarily. Actually, one time someone thanked me.
Fuck you.
No, I'm just kidding. No one's done that.
Have you guys had sex?
Yeah.
Yet. That's episode 500.
Yeah. It's our new Patreon goal. Yeah.
Yeah. People are gonna have to pay if they want us to fuck.
Yeah. This is another John subject.
Great.
No, I think you'll want to talk about this. I haven't had this one before. This is the key lime LaCroix.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Because I do, and Kiki, I don't know if you're a big seltzer person or not, but John is famously like big into seltzer, and I'm interested because correct me if I'm wrong, they also have just a regular lime one, right, John?
They do, yes.
What is the difference?
The key lime one tastes like a key lime pie.
Okay.
Key lime itself is like, it's a smaller lime. It's a little bit more tart usually.
Okay.
Or sorry, opposite. It's a little more sweet usually.
Okay. Because this is good.
It's got kind of a different flavor. It's kind of almost like tangy compared to like a lime, which is a little more sour.
Yeah. No, I'm enjoying it. Kiki,
key lime's pretty good.
Yeah. Are you a seltzer person?
Just thinking, I am slowly becoming a seltzer person, but I've never heard of key lime like outside of the context of key lime pie. Like I've just thought that if you have a key lime, you have a pie.
Yeah, I guess I'm just looking it up right now. It is.
I mean, it is a type of lime.
It is a type of lime. Yeah, which makes sense.
I've gotten into this lately. The Coca-Cola zero sugar, zero caffeine.
Oh, big fan.
Oh,
because I'm not a caffeine guy.
Is that the gold can?
It is. It's got the gold.
Oh, they got the gold at the top. Yeah, because growing up, my mom used to have the caffeine free.
Yeah, that's a gold can.
Yes, I never liked it. But Diet Coke, I'm a big fan of. I do like Diet Coke.
I'm not a Diet Coke guy, but this is good.
You guys don't know how stupid I am. I only recently found out Diet Coke had caffeine in it. I just kind of assumed it just didn't have anything in it, and I just never made the connection.
The diet part?
Yeah, I never made the connection, and I knew there was specifically one labeled as caffeine free, and for some reason I just assumed, Diet Coke doesn't have. Why would it have caffeine in it? You know, it's like the healthy one. But so I would be drinking it at like night and shit and having like horrible sleeps and not making the connection. So
like every night I drank a Diet Coke before bed for some reason.
Yeah.
This just didn't pan out for me.
They do have so many varieties now. It can get very confusing. Like I love Coke Zero.
Yeah. And then Coke Zero, there's Coke Zero like vanilla, right? And there's Coke Zero.
Is there?
Is there, or is there Coke Zero caffeine free? Like, are there different ones?
I mean, this is Coke Zero caffeine free.
That's Coke Zero caffeine free, not Diet Coke caffeine free.
Caffeine free.
But they do have the gold trim on it. Okay.
Caffeine free gold trim because I think it's. I always thought it was gold because like old people drank it and they're like the golden generation, but. That's probably not the reason. I don't actually know why the top is gold. But
I think it's just to distinguish it from the silver can, I guess, right?
It does make me feel cool to be drinking
the gold. Is nice. The gold that I will say that is maybe the best looking Coke can out there.
Yeah.
Because you have the sort of the best of both worlds. You have the classic red can. Because that's the other thing is Coke Zero used to be an all black can, right? And now is it red again, but with black text? Is that right? Which was an interesting choice.
I feel like it has a circle on it or something.
Yeah, I kind of liked the black can of Coke Zero, if I'm remembering correctly.
The black can was kind of sick.
Yeah.
The black can was kind of sick for sure. But have you, Kiki, you said you're a big, there's all these varieties of Coke. Have you tried any of the fucked up ones, like the recent one that was developed by AI or whatever?
Oh.
What? What is that?
It's called Y3000, and it's quite stupid.
Yeah, they keep doing all these special flavors. Like they did one where they were like, this Coca-Cola is flavored with space.
Yeah, they would do. So they're called Coke Creations. And so they all have names where it's like
by space, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah, they all have names where it's not readily apparent what the flavor profile of the drink is going to be. So they have Starlight, which was the space one, I think. I think Starlight was the one that sort of tasted like cotton candy.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I had a can, and I wasn't like I wasn't like, oh, I got to rush out and have another one of these, but it was good to drink.
It was. I didn't hate it. It was quite sweet. But I think that's the appeal, I guess, right? And then they had, was it like Dream or something, or like what was the other?
Dream. There's been like 4 of them now.
Yeah, but the latest one is Y3000, and the gimmick with that one is it was like designed. They like worked with AI to make this flavor or something.
I don't know what that even means.
I think.
Yeah, how does a robot know what's good?
I think they like legitimately. Is it them just asking Chat GPT like what would be a good type of like Coke flavor, right? And maybe that's what it was. I don't think it's going to be that good. Actually, you know what? Why don't we?
I'm trying to look up. I know people who've had the Y3000 and they say it kind of tastes like a peach / like blueberry.
I think it's got a fruit. Yeah, I think you're right. It's like a fruit profile. I'll ask ChatGPT right now. What come up with some ideas for new Coca?
The can is dope.
The can looks cool, I think.
It says that they used AI to understand how fans envision the future through emotions, aspirations, colors, flavors, and more.
That is so stupid.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but apparently it came from like the freestyle machines based on like what people were ordering in the freestyle machine, it sounds like. The freestyle machines are AI enabled.
Whoa.
Apparently.
Okay.
See, I feel like the whole draw with Coke is that it's a classic drink and you know what the hell you're getting. Like this is trying too hard to like break their brand.
Yeah, I guess maybe the freestyle machine did sort of change things for them. And I'm a big fan of the freestyle machine, but I'm just gonna do like the basic like vanilla Coke Zero if I'm at the movies. But I think people do go apeshit on those and make like crazy flavors. Yeah, which is surprising to me. I did just ask ChatGPT for some ideas of new Coca-Cola flavors. And I mean, these suck. These are bad. Berry Blast. What are we talking about? Come on, spiced cola. Now this
I did like the spiced cola that Pepsi did like 10 years ago.
Like the Christmas Pepsi or whatever?
Yes. I was the only person in history, I think, that liked it. Kiki?
I think it would be okay.
No, it sounds good. I would eat it.
It was really good. It had like nutmeg. It was like nutmeg and cinnamon, and had like holiday spices mixed in with the Pepsi. It was delightful.
Yeah, because I like a winter beer, right? Which is kind of the similar like flavors. So I think there's something to be said for that. But again, these aren't like original flavors because it's AI, so they're just like pulling from wherever online. But the names are not good either. Ginger lemon fizz. Like that's not a Coke flavor. I'm trying to get it to do like Starlight or Y3000 or like stupid names like that, right? But it just can't.
It is very misleading. Like if you tell me what space tastes like, I'm gonna think it tastes like rocks and dirty air. I don't know.
I think it does sort of give them like more leeway to like do whatever flavors they want. Because you can name it anything, and then it can just be like no one's gonna be like. Because the space one tasted like cotton candy, and no one's going to be like, that doesn't taste like space to me, So
this is what these motherfuckers think space tastes like. There had to be people that got pissed off in that exact way, like on Reddit or something.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of people getting pissed off, let's move on to our social media updates.
What a fucking good segue.
Is it the shorter version?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. No, that's okay.
We'll be here for a while.
That's fine. I mean, it's a great song.
It's not that long.
Let's discuss what popped up in your feed. Who are you following? What did you see? Sports or politics or terrible tweets? What's going on with Stefan's fast food freaks? Where was the drama? What was the deal? Did some prick find shrimp in a cereal? TikTok, Facebook, Twitter,
it's a little
Instagram. Tell us what you saw. Give us tips or social
media
updates. Well, Dr. Jeb did hear your criticisms that the theme song was too long, and then made a version that is shorter. So we'll play that and next time. But it's whatever. It's a good song. Kiki,
it's great. I love it.
We always start.
I loved it.
We always start with the guest. What's going on in your social media?
Well, I was just telling my boyfriend last night that I don't get on Facebook that frequently. And so I think Facebook no longer knows what to serve up to me. And so, Facebook is experimenting with like virtual reality and Meta and whatever. So I'm getting a lot of weird AI type things. And the latest ones I've been getting have been these like hodgepodge images that'll be like Emma Watson, Scarlett Johansson, Jennifer Lawrence, but like they all have huge boobs. Like it'll be like they all have like video game character bodies, and like, it looks like they're all taking this picture together. And like there's no reason these three actresses would be in this picture together dressed that way. So I know it's AI. But I don't know why Facebook is serving this up to me. I don't know what I could have possibly clicked to get these images, but my feed is covered in them.
I think it's probably, like you said, if you haven't logged on for a while, they're just like, this is a safe bet. There's celebrities that like I think that's it's just the default thing now is just like AI generated stuff, because it really is everywhere. Like I hardly go on Twitter at all anymore, but if you go on there, it's like that's all anyone is doing, and it's not great. And I say that as someone who uses like a friend's AI thing to make pictures of Yoda sucking his own dick. Like, but I think that's, to be clear, I think that's like one of the only good uses of AI.
Cool.
I think that is cool.
Think that is cool.
Shut up, John. It is cool.
I mean,
but you can tell it's not really Yoda because the dick is way bigger. So
I really only have one question, Kiki. Can I have the password to your Facebook? Well, I'll say this. I, as a comedian, and I'm sure this is probably why you still have Facebook too, Kiki, like when you do stand up, it is kind of like, you still sort of have to have it. Like people message you on Facebook Messenger or like whatever, and you can still promote shows on there and stuff. So I usually log into Facebook like once every day or two, just to kind of make sure nobody's been messaging me or whatever. And one thing that's blown me away is because I guess it's just like, pardon me, not as many people are on there anymore, but like it is amazing how often it serves me the same image. Like as the lead image, like I'll log in, 5 or 6 times in a week, and I get like one new thing on my news feed, and then everything else is posts from like 6 days ago that I saw every other one of those 5 days that I logged in. Like it's crazy how either the algorithm is just so busted or just nobody's posting there anymore. But like,
I don't understand how Facebook is surviving. Like I don't know who's actually using Facebook.
I feel like most of the old people that would be on there they either died or they've been scammed out of their accounts, right? So like I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Like I'm not sure who's using, because I haven't had a Facebook account for like 5 or 6 years now at this point, and like I don't miss it at all. But you guys are right. Like from the comedian perspective, getting gigs and stuff and promoting, it's like you have to have it, which sucks. I just can't imagine how, because it's been around since 2005. So like,
probably around there.
This is insane, but we're approaching the 20-year anniversary of Facebook, which is like obscene to think about.
And that's kind of why I don't delete it, because I've had it since I was 15. I'm 31. Right. I've had this account for half of my life. I would feel weird deleting it.
Yeah. I think like I've had multiple Facebook accounts, and I just have no desire to get back on there. But like, it is crazy to me that it is still around, and they're still, I don't know what they're doing anymore, because I don't think they're doing the VR stuff as much. It seems like they've kind of fallen off from that.
Oh yeah, that's all gone. Yeah. I'm looking at mine right now, and I get one post from 5 hours ago, one post from 7 hours ago, then a suggested post that's hockey related.
Okay.
Then I get one more new post from an hour ago. So we're 4 posts in, and then it goes a post from 4 days ago that I have seen every one of the last 4 days.
Okay.
Then it's a post from my friend comedian Graham K from September 25th. So that is literally the 6th post down on my news feed is from September 25th, and I've seen it like 6 times, and it's about Just for Laughs Toronto shows that he was promoting that are now over.
Well,
and then the post below that is from September 24th. So
Is it, so I wonder if it is just like no one's using it really, right?
I don't,
like
yeah, you'd think, but like I must be following or friends with, over a couple thousand people at least. Like it can't be just that like 6 people are using Facebook. Like I think it's just like so profoundly broken. And yeah, I can't seem to find these AI boobies. So like what's going on with my Facebook? But none of this is coming to me. It's disgusting. Stefan, what's going on in your social media?
Well, I haven't really been that online the past little bit, but and again, this episode comes out in 2 weeks, so this will be the classic blocked party thing that's like totally dated as soon as it comes out. But I guess the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, and I haven't really been paying attention to news.
The Speaker of the House or the American?
The American Speaker. Well, I mean, they're both kind of in the news, I guess. But Kevin McCarthy tweeted this yesterday, 22 hours ago from this recording. Bring it on, because I think what was going to happen is they were going to have a vote to like keep him on as Speaker of the House.
They removed him,
and they have just removed him. It's just very, very funny to post, and like he's in a situation now, so he has posted from his official account. Bring it on. Period. Like very serious. Like yeah, you know what? Like. Yeah, bring it on. Like I'll get the votes. It's gonna be fine. And then you lose less than a day later. What do you do with that post? Because like, if you delete it, I think deleting it might be the way to go. To be honest, because it's gonna be embarrassing for him either way, right? But if he keeps it, it's just gonna keep getting reposted and keep getting brought up. And if you delete it, it's like yeah, there's like screen grabs of it and everything, right? But like. At that point, you're just sort of like you're surrendering. You've admitted you've lost, right? But like, this is one of those situations where you'll see this sometimes. There was a journalist who posted a link to a Pornhub video, like 8 years ago now at this point. And he has not deleted the post. I believe it is still up. 8 years later, it was a link to. Because I think Pornhub has like a share option, which is very funny.
I'm always sharing my.
And
Pornhub
I guess he
list.
clicked it or pasted it or something. But last I checked, it was still there, and he never deleted it. And I respect that so much more. To
lean in.
Exactly lean into it.
What was the porno?
It was like I think what was really funny about it was that it was like early 90s, like almost like softcore, like lesbian porn. So like very like tame stuff. Like considering the stuff that could have been posted,
Like what, Stefan?
Oh well, like I don't know, gaping or something, right? But like,
I just wanted to hear you say what you thought the example of 2023 porn was.
Yeah, I would say
everyone cringed at the exact same time. That was fun.
I would say gaping, but yeah, I mean, I think so. He's just got the porno link just like up on his.
Imagine like 8 years from now. We're doing this podcast. It's like, like, imagine this happened today. And then, like, 8 years from now, we're just like, yeah, it was weird. He posted some, like, old school. It's kind of like a gaping porn, just sort of
stuff.
like kind of just a tame
a lot of
sort
spitting,
of gaping.
like, No,
gaping with your stepmom.
But yeah, anyway, that's still up. So I think for Kevin McCarthy, if I could give him any advice, I would say, I think. I don't know. I mean, in this case, I think maybe you pull the Band-Aid off and delete it right away. But I almost think like maybe lean into it and maybe keep it up. The more I think about it, I don't know. What would you guys do? Would you guys keep the post up at this point? Because it blew up in his face in less than a day.
Oops.
So it's my understanding that he can still petition again to be the Speaker of the House, which I don't know if that's his plan, but like that's so embarrassing. That's so like. Cuck behavior. Like they're slapping you around to save yourself the embarrassment. But it feels like that's his MO. Like they didn't want him to be Speaker of the House in the first place, and he like got in, and now they've removed him. And it seems like this is like his hill he wants to die on. Which I mean, the people that have removed him are crazy. Let's be clear about that. But I don't know. I don't know who supports him either.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, he just seems like a classic like loser, really. So like,
just one of your sort of one of your classic losers.
Yeah, maybe lean into being a loser. But that would be so funny if he asks for the votes again. That would be maybe the funniest thing he could do. So I mean, again, this episode
bring it on
comes out in 2 weeks. Yeah, I say bring it on. But yeah, it was nice. It's just nice to see. That to me, like, again, I just checked Twitter kind of right before we went live because I realized I didn't really have anything for my social media update. And that was kind of the thing everyone was talking about. So it was nice to see something like that where it did feel like a bit like a throwback to like 2015-ish era Twitter. Because obviously whatever's going on there now is not great. So it was nice to see someone kind of just embarrassing themselves in like an old school way. That was
yeah,
great.
kick it old school.
Yeah. John?
Yeah.
Well, I have a clip here. This is from Major League Baseball pitcher Spencer Strider. And this was making the rounds a little while ago. As you said, Stefan, this episode comes out in 2 weeks, so it may not be as relevant. But very funny in that he's being interviewed by what looks to be sort of an Instagram journalist. And yeah, he is asked what he would change about baseball. And he is definitely being at least slightly sarcastic. But we'll hear what he has to say, and then I'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the replies after.
Okay.
Do you have any hot sports takes?
Any hot sports takes? Absolutely, there should be no fans. 2020 season, no fans. Get rid of the fans. It's too loud.
Too loud?
It's too loud. Everybody be quiet. We don't need the cheering. We know you're watching. I don't need the fans. You stay outside the stadium. I mean, back it up. Let's do like a lower bowl thing. You know, just kind of, yeah, upper deck's great. Upper deck's great. Outfield, phenomenal. We don't need you around the dugouts. Just try and be quiet.
Do you have any sports?
So he's obviously,
Iconic.
yeah, it's so good, right? Like he's being a little tongue in cheek because someone also posted in the replies that the man is consistent, and it's a screen cap from an interview, and it says, yeah, it feels like everywhere you go there's a massive crowd. And Spencer Strider replied, I generally am not a fan of the public as a whole, which I just love. Like, I love the idea that this guy's like kind of introverted. He's sort of being serious. But what I love even more is like the replies where people are just like, oh, what a huge L for this guy. This guy sucks, whatever. He's going to make people cry. Then people are trying to kind of like dunk on him. He's like really good too, right? Yeah. What does that pay with no fans? Does he also prefer to make half his salary? That's so corny. Oh my God. How is he expecting to get paid? What a wild take, blah, blah, blah. So obviously there are some people who think it's funny like I do, but it was, really great to just have and he's, by the way, if you don't know him, like one of the best pitchers in the major leagues. And it seems like, I mean, even before that, I heard that he's like a fairly like nice, cool guy is my understanding. I mean, have you ever been to a fucking sports game? Everyone there is just a hog. It's just like awful. I would say like 99% of the people at a sports game suck ass. So if you're out there on the field getting like yelled at, even when it's like your own fans, like I don't blame them at all. I agree. I mean,
somebody who gets very easily distracted, like this resonates with me. I'm like, yeah, if somebody was yelling obscenities from the stands, I wouldn't be able to focus on my job either.
And there's got to be a pretty large subset of athletes who like mostly hate the fans. Like it would be annoying to be constantly bothered by the worst people on earth. Yeah. So I can wrap my head around that. Speaking of wrapping my head around things, let's move on to our block tale.
What did you tweet? You brought receipts. Block tale. Woo! No longer can see the post, it's a block tale. Woo! You probably deserved it, it's a block tale.
All right, Kiki, the floor is yours. Tell us about your blocking.
Yeah, and I've had my Twitter for like a long time. I've tweeted way more heinous shit. But there was some news story of some like billionaire guy who he was like doing some conference, and he was like, Yeah, I think we should start forcing unemployment on people so that they know that they're lucky enough to have a job. It's not the employers who are lucky to have employees. It's the employees that are lucky to have us giving them work.
Oh, good.
So I retweeted it and wrote guillotine, and I got permanently removed from Twitter.
Just for that? Really?
Yeah.
That's, I guess, like, this is, I mean, that's like fairly harmless in the grand scheme of things, considering this
you
is.
only wanted to behead this guy. Very harmless.
But I
It's
feel
like the
you could
gay
definitely,
thing,
you could definitely get away with that like a year ago. You know, obviously, like I think we know what like the common denominator here is, and like why you can't get away with that now. Because like I feel like people would say stuff like that all the time before, right? They would threaten,
Totally.
and like even more like explicit threats to the lives of billionaires, which is like fine, right? And like, and I do think that's how you know Twitter is dead, is that you can't casually threaten the life of a billionaire anymore. Like I sincerely think that is like a sign that it is like dead, and just like, because that sucks. Well, it's not like you're actually going to guillotine them. You're saying it would be cool if that happened, and I think we can all agree with
you
that.
even get a guillotine, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna.
Hey, maybe I just love the French Revolution. I don't
Sure.
like. You don't know me.
Absolutely, I think that's pretty harmless. I know the guy you're talking about, and I think he's also the first guy to popularize the whole millennials need to stop eating avocado toast. Like it's that guy.
Really?
That guy.
He's like that same piece of shit. So he's
cool.
like not a good guy, and it's just like. So by the way, Kiki, if you want to get your Twitter account back, apparently the way to do it is, and I've seen multiple people go through this and it works, is if you say, I was targeted and my account was deleted or blocked or because of my right-wing political beliefs, they will let you back on. So I would seriously
Really?
try that. Apparently that does work. I've seen it with multiple people. Yeah. So.
Huh. Interesting, but I wonder if they would look at the context of the video and be like, "She's a lefty."
I don't know that they would necessarily. Like I don't, because I think it's just like it's them. They're just getting all these reports and all these requests and stuff, and I feel like either it's an AI thing doing it, or they've been just instructed like, "Hey, if someone says they were their account was suspended because of their right-wing conservative beliefs, just unsuspend them." I would not be shocked if that was like a specific instruction they've received. So it's worth a try.
Yeah. Well, I did see. I'm like in all these little writers groups on Facebook, and I saw somebody post something like, "There's been a number of people getting removed from Twitter for like being mean to billionaires." I'm like,
yeah,
it was me.
No, I mean, I think it's a thing that, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sucks. Are you on Blue Sky yet?
No. How do you guys feel about it? I'm on Threads, and I just feel like Threads is like for dorks. I don't know.
Threads, to me, I never posted on it.
Threads does stink.
Yeah,
bad.
I know when it first came out, everyone was like, this is like the new thing, because so many people just automatically joined because they were prompted to on Instagram, right? So it seemed really busy at first. And I think now, I was reading an article the other day, like, there's like no one posting it on it anymore. And they're like desperate to figure out how to get people back on. Like Blue Sky feels a bit more like bespoke, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good word for it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a lot quieter. It's not as crazy as Twitter, and probably never will be. Maybe when they open it up, but I think overall it's like it's fine. I've been enjoying it. I'm posting on there fairly regularly. So if you're, I have probably an extra invite I could give you if you want to join, because we're trying to get as many people over there as possible. So if you're interested, let me know.
Send it my way.
Okay.
You can totally.
I need to tweet more and name things.
Yeah, and you can also totally talk about like beheading someone.
But you can threaten billionaires over there for sure.
Yeah, people are totally cool with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
That's all I want.
Yeah, that's all any of us want, really, at the end of the day. We have a great listener block as well. This one is from Graham. And look, Graham was blocked by a guy that we're familiar with, Rob Schneider.
Okay.
The big block from Rob Schneider. Graham says, hello, Blocked boys and guest. Big fan of the show. I was literally just blocked by Rob Schneider. I was on Twitter instead of working and saw that he was trending in Canada. Knowing he is a huge dumbass, I figured I'd see what he had done, and boy, was I not disappointed. Apparently, he was doing a show in Canada, but decided to cancel in protest over Parliament hosting a man who turned out to be an actual Nazi and giving him a standing ovation. This story is a whole other yikes, and I won't get into it here, but not a good look, Canada, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Schneider decided to cancel his show in protest. I didn't look up ticket sales, but I can't imagine he was selling out Scotiabank Arena or really any venue he'd be so principled. Either way, I assume he was doing it to be an attention-seeking turd, so I replied to one of his posts with, wait until you find out who ran the rocket development project for the Apollo program, because the answer to that is Werner von Braun, a man who developed rocket weapons for Nazi Germany that were used against civilians and manufactured by slave labor. Anyway, I went to check back a little later, and sure enough, I had caught the block.
That's a weird thing for him to... I mean, I make Rob Schneider's like completely insane, obviously, but like, that's kind of strange that he would block over that, but I guess he's just a weird. He's blocked me as well.
Really?
Yeah, he blocked me when he first started doing anti-vax stuff, like in 2015 or 2016.
I can.
And I forget what I said to him, but it was something quite cruel and mean, probably. But yeah, I mean, getting the Rob Schneider block is a good one to get, I think. So,
yeah,
nice
Graham
job, Graham.
says that. He says, I'm fairly happy to be blocked by Schneider as he is truly one of the dumbest chud comedians out there. Love the show, boys. Keep up the good work and get Dan to drink some fucking water.
Oh, yeah. Dan, water? You got any water?
No.
Okay.
Drink some vitamin water.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? That's fine, I think. Dan
close.
famously doesn't drink water.
Oh, okay, you were very quiet during the Coke discussion.
Oh, Dan loves Coca-Cola.
I like it all.
Boy,
wow,
this
Rob
is
Schneider. Rob Schneider's really gone down a crazy path. Like the last thing he was tweeting about was like trans people. It's like, weren't you in the Hot Chick? Like, didn't you literally play a girl?
He's just a very, I don't know. I mean, I feel like he did a movie a couple years ago, and it wasn't like necessarily like a right-wing movie, but it was him trying to sort of recapture his like old style movies. And I just feel like I need to watch. I think we watched the trailer on here once, but it's him trying to bring his daughter on like vacation across the country or something, and it just looks horrendous. So I would like to, maybe we'll watch that at some point, John, for a bonus episode. But he's still cranking out content.
I'd prefer not to, but his most recent tweet, he refers to CNN as Pravda, which is the Russian Russian news network. And then he's got a lot of real good stuff on here. This is, oh man. I got to send this tweet for Dan to put up because it is so fucking funny. That Rob put here. I'll drop it in the chat, but it's crazy. Rob commented on this. And I'll tell you what he commented in a second. Because it's very funny, because I think he thinks it might be real. So it's a tweet from the Babylon Bee, and it says, a new 2024 poll shows Trump and Biden trailing behind Kevin James meme. And then it's got the Kevin James shrugging meme at 91%.
That's some Trump classic shit. That is some classic funny shit.
And Joe Biden at 4%. Yeah. And then Rob Schneider retweeted it and wrote, go at Kevin James. So I think there's a chance he thinks this might be real.
It's possible. The other thing that was really funny is Kevin James acknowledged the meme the other day, and so he doesn't tweet very often. So if everyone was quote tweeting and being like, "This is so funny," he's like acknowledging the meme of him shrugging or whatever. And then his most recent tweet before that was him being like, "Hey, everyone, go see this. This movie is so important. Everyone, please go see it. My friend made it, and it's for The Sound of Freedom, the QAnon movie."
Oh no!
Yeah, yeah.
Got to be careful what memes you're acknowledging out there. If you want to send in a listener block, you can do so at blocked@blockparty.com, or you can fill out the form on our website. You can also donate to the show at patreon.com/blockparty. $5 a month gets you access to 3 bonus episodes every single month. Last week, We just released a bonus episode of us with our friend Demi Lardner watching the YTV show Squawk Box. It was a very good time. We love to educate our friends about Canada. We also have merch discounts. If you hate the ads, we have ad-free episodes over there. Lots of good stuff. So check that out. Patreon.com/blockparty. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BlockPartyPod and on Blue Sky at BlockParty. And if you want to see this episode instead of listen to us, you can head on over to our YouTube page at BlockPartyPod as well. And if you like
It's
the
just
show,
at Blocked Party.
okay, at Block Party. Fuck, I can't remember. We have Block Party Pod here, Block Party there, whatever. Okay, YouTube.com/at Blocked Party. There you go. And if you like the show, tell a friend. Kiki, we're here at the end of the show. That means it's time for our top 3.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Uno, 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 uno.
Mustard.
3.
Socks. 2. Girlfriends.
Uno, 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 uno.
Kiki, your top 3, please.
My top 3 is lies your parents told you.
Oh, that's really good.
That's good. Okay.
Lies my parents told me, man, that I was a good boy. No, I'm just kidding.
I love
wow,
you.
that's really good. Kiki, we'll start with you. What's your number 3?
Well, my dad used to tell me, for some reason when I was a child, I was a lost person and I didn't like eating my pizza crust. And my dad told me that if I ate all my pizza crust, my hair would get curly because I really wanted curly hair. Now I still have straight hair, but I love pizza crust.
Wow.
Wow.
Your dad really sold you a bill of goods on that one.
Yeah.
That's such a funny thing too, that like as a kid, you would believe that as well. Because they would say like, oh, eat your vegetables. That does this.
Mm-hmm.
Fix your hair. That does this, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So
That's a
I feel
good
like
one.
somebody should engineer food that makes your hair curly, you know, because people spend so much on hair products. If you could just eat your hair products.
Yeah, save some time. That's a good
Smart.
idea.
I agree. Stefan, you're number 3.
Number 3, we'll go with the tooth fairy being real. And that was one I figured out fairly quick. But I mean, that's such a crazy one, even compared to like the other holiday ones or whatever. But that's just like, because first of all, how is the tooth fairy getting the money under your head? Your head is on the pillow. There's no way you wouldn't wake up. Anyway, that's my number 3, I think, is the classic tooth fairy lie.
Okay, I'll piggyback on the tooth fairy lie and also say that's my number 3, only because I remember I was getting a little older, but still not. I was probably like 7 maybe. And I actually felt my mom put the money under my pillow.
I think I did too at one point.
I woke up and I saw my mom and I was like, "Hi, Mom," like, you know, and then she kind of didn't say anything and left the room. And when I woke up in the morning, I was like, "Mom, you came into my room last night." And they still were like, "No, that must have been the tooth fairy."
Wow. Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is a classic gaslight. Before I even knew what gaslighting meant, I was just like, there's no way. So yeah, anyway, that's my number 3.
Yeah. I found my teeth somewhere. Like my mom had a
Oh.
little box, which is fucked up.
Oh, wow.
No. Oh God, I hope my parents threw mine in the garbage. I guess I've never really considered that. Did your mom ever say what the purpose of keeping them was?
Oh, I should have asked her, but I think I just like saw them and threw them away. I'm like, this is disgusting.
Teeth are so gross to me. Like that. Oh
Yeah.
oh, I hate that story. Oh, Kiki, you're number 2, please.
Indecent. Oh, lies my parents told me. Okay. I'm sorry. I must have misread the directions. I thought we were all coming up with the 3.
Oh no, 3 each.
Okay. Well, damn, my dad lied a lot. He used to tell me.
You're like, actually, this is easy for me. I thought it would be hard, but my dad lied to me constantly.
Yeah, my dad would tell us this like monster myth of this monster that lived in the toilet, and if you spent too long on the toilet, it would bite your butt.
Oh, Jesus. That's terrifying.
So, like, wait, as a kid, you were like a long shitter? Were you like reading a newspaper in there? Or like, what was that feel like? It's not usually a story you hear from like a young girl just like posting up with the USA Today in the John.
Yeah, this is before iPhones too, so it's not like I was scrolling through Twitter. I don't know. Maybe me and my sister took too long in the bathroom, and he was just over it. Because I remember him having one apartment, like with one bathroom. So maybe that's where the tale was born.
Right. That's a good one. That's a good one for sure. And did you actually fear it? Like you were young enough that you thought that was like real?
I don't know if I thought there was like a monster in the toilet, but I definitely thought something could come out of the toilet. Like it's a drain, and all drains lead to the ocean, as Finding Nemo would say. So
true.
I think it's a reasonable thing to believe. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, Stefan, you're number 2.
Well, we're gonna go with Santa here because my parents went to just insane lengths to make us believe. So they would put if it had snowed outside before, they would make little fake like reindeer hoof prints on like the walk out front. We would have a little soot mark on our cheek because Santa had given us a kiss on our cheek while we were asleep. What else? They would do the classic. I mean, we'd leave carrots and cookies out, and the cookies would all be gone, and the carrots would have like big bites out of them and stuff. And so they went all out to make us believe in Santa, and
that's cool.
It was great. It was really fun, and then it was like so devastating because they did such a good job.
I think I told this story on the pod before, but there was one year for sure where my parents were, because you'd leave like cookies for Santa, carrots for the reindeer.
Yeah.
And I remember one year my parents were like, I think the reindeer would like chips.
Okay.
I think, we were talking to Santa, and I think the reindeer actually, they don't like carrots anymore. They like potato chips. And we were just like, okay, I guess we got to put out chips for.
And my uncle would call pretending to be Santa the night, like on Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's
and
classic.
Put on like a deep voice and like, yeah. So it was, they put a lot of effort into it. It was great.
That's a good lie.
Yeah.
Mine is a carrot-based lie.
Okay.
And because I think there is like, I think this is sort of true that like carrots have keratin in them, which is good for your eyesight, I guess.
I believe that's true. I've heard that. Yeah.
But my parents would, because I started having glasses when I was 6 years old. And so my parents would tell me, like, if you don't want to have glasses anymore, then just eat your carrots and like your eyesight will improve to the point where you don't need glasses anymore, which like obviously was a big time lie. But
sad.
Yeah, I know. But because I was just, I didn't obviously want glasses because I was a big nerd already. So I didn't want advertising.
How do you feel about carrots now?
Oh, I still like carrots. Like I never disliked carrots. I think what it was my family often would do raw carrots and dip,
right?
Like with dinner. And then sometimes my mom would cook them and I didn't like them cooked nearly as much. And because my mom cooked them like shit. Like, no, and my mom doesn't listen to the show, so I can say that. Like, my mom would literally like boil or steam them, and then that was it. No glaze, no nothing. Like, Becca will make like a maple Dijon glazed carrot that's like roasted in the oven. It's amazing. And yeah, my parents, like, they were like, no, we just boil the shit out of these until they're basically baby food. You can put salt and butter on them if you want. So I think that was what it was just like, I was pissed because I wasn't getting raw carrots. And then they would be like, well, you got to eat them all because then you'll be able to see it. They were pretending to be Jesus Christ. They were going to heal my partial blindness. Kiki, you're number 1.
My number 1, well, this is actually inspired. I can't take full credit for this one, but I feel like it's a lie that everybody's parents told them. So last night I went to go see my friend's taping for his special, Luke Knoll, and he was talking about how it's a common misconception that if you get stung by a jellyfish, people should pee on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as somebody, I grew up near the water, my dad always said that, like, if somebody gets stung, we're just going to have to pee on them. And luckily I've never been peed on, but I feel like people around me have definitely been peed on. And I just don't know if that's true at all, but it sounds like Luke said last night, you probably shouldn't be peeing in wounds.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't work. It's definitely not a thing. Yeah. I guess like, but I don't even know if it came out of like being a deterrent, because it would be a deterrent for a kid. Like, hey, don't go in the ocean because if you get stung by a jellyfish, like, I will have to piss on you.
Yeah.
You know, but like, I don't even know where that started, but I'm pretty sure it has been like fully debunked.
Yeah.
Urination jellyfish. Let me look it up and see what it says. Yeah, there's no truth to the myth that peeing on a jellyfish sting can make it feel better. Numerous studies have found that this simply doesn't work. One of the possible reasons the myth became popular could be due to the fact that urine contains compounds like ammonia and urea.
Wow.
So yeah,
there you
doesn't
go.
actually work. And some Scientific American says it can actually aggravate the jellyfish stingers into releasing more venom. So
especially if you're drinking like Bud Light on the regular, like definitely don't put that in your wounds.
My piss is mostly beer. So, Stefan, what's your number one?
I guess this counts as a lie, but right before I went to college, my dad said he was going to buy me a big box of condoms, and he just never did.
He lost faith in you.
I think he was just like, it's probably fine.
They came to visit for Parents Weekend, and they saw all of your guy friends.
Yeah, I think we're good here. I don't think I can save some money here. And he was right, so yeah.
like a running joke in your house, like, oh, when you go off to college, I'm going to buy you a big box of condoms.
No, it was like literally him being like taking me aside and being like, I'll get you a, we'll we want to, my mom's like, have safe sex and everything. And then I think it was just him like forgetting it. Like,
any point were you like hooking up with a girl and you were like, oh, sorry, I would have a condom, but my dad didn't give me any.
No, yeah, I mean, there's that too. But it was still just a very funny. I think it was just him forgetting. But like, I'm gonna count it as a lie for.
It would be funny if you didn't explain that. So you're just like you're you're kind of getting ready for sex, and then you're like, oh, Dad.
Yeah.
And then the girl's like, wait, what? And you're like, oh, no. It's like he told me he was going to buy me condoms and he didn't. Now I don't have one.
Also, the size that your dad gets you says a lot about your dad and what he thinks of you, and also about your dad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm adopted too, so like that throws a loop into it as well. So I would have been interested to see what he got me, but yeah, I missed out, unfortunately.
Oh, I guess that would be kind of funny if like this is funny because I know your dad quite well, but like if not that, this is okay, the royal you, like if your dad had just kind of like a tiny dick,
yes,
and then they adopt you and you just have this massive hammer,
yeah,
and then
he would he'd be like pissed off.
Yeah, like fuck this, like,
back to the streets.
John, what's your number one?
My number one, this is a classic Canadian parent lie, but my dad told me I was going to make the NHL. So here we go. I mean, I was an okay hockey player when I was a kid, but there was almost no evidence looking back that I was good enough to make the NHL. And not that I don't know if my dad ever specifically said that, but I had a sort of habit of like not trying my hardest in games. And so my dad would say, like, you're good enough. Like, you could make the NHL. Like, you should be trying harder, And I was like the shortest kid on my team. Even just right there alone, like, I would have had to be so fucking good at hockey. At that time, I did have a growth spurt later on. But when I was a kid, I was always the shortest in my class. So, it was just a very stupid Canadian-based lie. Thanks a lot, Dad. Now I'm just a 37-year-old podcaster. Is this the life you wanted for me? Anyway, Kiki, thank you so much for being on the show. So nice to have you. Before we go, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Check out the pod Indecent with Kiki Andersen. On Instagram, it's Indecent Kiki, and on Instagram, it's Kiki Andersen. So see you guys on the webs.
Wonderful. Check out Kiki's great podcast, Indecent. Go see her live. I believe you're in Texas coming up. I think I saw.
I'll be in Austin at the end of October.
Beautiful. So there you go. Go see Kiki live. Have a great time. As for us, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Block Party Pod, YouTube, and Blue Sky at Block Party. You can donate to the show at patreon.com/Block Party. We'll see you back here next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.